Thanks, Rob. That was a great tour around the culture cloud.
Yeah.
But there's more to it than just this as well, isn't there? There's
Oh,
levels of culture.
well, you know, we know that all models are helpful, but they're wrong. We know that all symbols are helpful, but they're not factually true. The reason why we use a semiotic culture cloud in the social psychology of risk is because when we understand things visually, aesthetically, and poetically, we enter another dimension of embodied being. And none of this, there is no study of semiotics in risk and safety across the planet. There's no study of it. If you had a study of semiotics in risk and safety across the planet, half the junk that's thrown in as religious mythology would be quickly dumped. So the culture cloud is not much more than a graphic model. But what we get in this is the feeling of culture and the emotions of the turbulence and the movement of the many facets and characteristics of culture. They're at work in all cultures, not just the subculture of safety culture. But if we actually looked at all of these things within in a detailed way, and we went methodically using every characteristics and used it to critically analyze what goes on in risk and safety, it would blow you away, the nonsense that exists in safety culture that is affirmed as mythical truth. It's astounding.
It is. It is. I just wanted to quickly touch on, so the culture cloud, we have another model which shows us with metaculture, culture,
Oh, yes, yeah. Well,
subcultures.
yeah. Well, based upon the work of Edgar Schein, you can show that all of these things that exist in the culture cloud can occur at different levels. So they all exist in a family, they all exist in a group, they all exist in an organization, they all exist in a country or in a civilization. And so all of these things, like even in a family, go around the cloud, and we have got mythical memories of mum and dad, when we were kids. When mum and dad, when I was 6 and 7, my dad was a hero. When I turned 16 and 17, that's not the case. The myth stopped. I got a new mythology brought in by the interrogation of adolescence. And then now I'm 70 and I look back on my father's foibles and my mother's fallibility, and I have a different way of remembering them as human persons. So yeah, there are different layers and levels of culture. Just like when we fly in a plane, we can be buffeted at 10,000 feet, so the plane jumps up to 20,000 feet till it gets to 30,000 feet, and then somehow the atmosphere is better, and so we can fly at that level. And then if there's turbulence, we move around that cloud till we can find some form of stability or some form of non-turbulence. But yeah, the cloud is just a useful model to explore as many elements of culture as we can. And you can use it as a checklist even. If you want, you can take that cloud into an organization. And if you want to look at organizational culture, just use this methodically in a systemic way, and it will show you what's going in and underneath and through and with what the organization is doing.
Great, Rob. Thanks very much for your time and explaining the culture cloud. Let's leave it there.
Okay.